Hello, my name is Jackie Prioli-Joseph, Director of Future Ready Massachusetts, with the Massachusetts Business Alliance for Education. Welcome to the Future Ready Mentor Toolkit webinar. This webinar is designed to introduce you to the Mentor Toolkit and how you can integrate this tool into your college and career ready activities. Future Ready Massachusetts is a collaborative project of the Massachusetts Business Alliance for Education, the Massachusetts Department of Elementary and Secondary Education, the Massachusetts Education and Career Opportunities, Inc., also known as MassEdCo, the Mass Mentoring Partnership, the Massachusetts Department of Higher Education, and the Massachusetts Educational Financing Authority, also known as MIFA, and their Your Plan for the Future tool. We're also excited to partner with our sponsors on the toolkit, Partners Healthcare and Verizon, and so we thank them for their support. So what is Future Ready? Future Ready is a public communication campaign raising awareness about what it means to be college and career ready, making sure that students have the right knowledge, skills, and attitudes for success in college, career, and life. And we do this through influential adults. Influential adults can be mentors, educators, guidance counselors, or parents, and we provide them with the information they need to guide and prepare young people to be college and career ready. Now, you might also be wondering why a mentor toolkit. Well, here are a few facts. By 2020, 72% of the jobs in Massachusetts will require some education or training beyond high school. In a recent Achieve Inc. survey, nearly 50% of recent high school graduates who go on to college report some gaps in their preparation. They said that they would have worked harder in school if they had known what they were preparing for. Third fact, I think you all know, students want an adult to help them figure out a plan. When we were putting Future Ready Massachusetts together, we talked to young people about what they need, and they said that they want an adult to help guide them and show them how to get through high school successfully, prepare for college or the workplace. And lastly, the presence of an influential adult who can help guide and support a young person has a positive impact on students, and it makes a big difference in their thinking about their aspirations and their goals and helping them complete high school and prepare for college and the workplace. We've packed the Mentor Toolkit with highly targeted information, and in this slide you see a snapshot of what is in the toolkit. Everything really to help you guide conversations with young people about the importance of creating a plan for the future. So just a taste of what we have in the toolkit on Your Plan for the Future, information about that tool and how students can create a profile, the Massachusetts curriculum frameworks, middle and high school checklists, information sheets about work experience and job interview tips, college transition process, financial literacy, and college and career planning. We've aligned the toolkit with Future Ready's messaging, which is start now, aim high, and look beyond. In Start Now, we talk about making a plan. Students need more than just a dream. We emphasize making a plan and helping students think early about what they might want to do. And this can start with the Your Plan for the Future tool, where starting in middle school, students can begin planning for the future by creating a profile on yourplanforthefuture.org. And we'd say, it's never too early to help students create this profile, and students can go on and take a get to know yourself assessment. Students, they get to learn about their strengths and their skills. We've gotten some questions about why Your Plan for the Future, and there are other tools like Naviance and MassEIS, and those are great tools as well. But for adults who may be working with students outside of the classroom, we really think that Your Plan for the Future is a great tool, and we're really happy to partner with MIFA with this Your Plan for the Future tool. In the Aim High section of the toolkit, we include information on Mass Core, Common Core, and assessments, and advanced placement and dual enrollment. But the most useful tools are the middle school and high school checklists, which help influential adults monitor students' progress in the classroom, but also help them think about the other experiences and skills that students need, like jobs and internships and interpersonal skills. The checklists are designed to help mentors support their student and monitor their progress. And here we can take a look at the Mentor checklist, which outlines steps that students should take in each grade level to stay on track for high school graduation. And the Mentor checklist really helps adults pinpoint some conversations to have with young people around what they're doing at each grade level and making sure that they are completing those steps. The student checklist provides steps for students to complete through their Your Plan for the Future.org account. And influential adults can use this to help students keep track of what they're doing and have a conversation with students about what their post-secondary preferences might be. As we discussed earlier, students can take the Get to Know Yourself assessments, they can update their resume, they can keep track of what they're doing in school that supports the goals and aspirations that they have. So the middle and high school checklists are really helpful for adults in starting conversations and keeping track of what students are doing, and also getting students involved by having them complete the steps provided and the activities provided on the student checklist. In the Look Beyond section of the Mentor Toolkit, we talk about being career ready. This section focuses on how to help students gain experience outside of the classroom. This ranges from on-the-job experiences like internships and work-based learning and volunteering opportunities. Influential adults can use this section to help students think about their interests and find ways to gain experience in that field, and really help students understand the realities of the working world. If you are 10 minutes late for class, that could cost you a few points. If you are 10 minutes late for a job interview, that could really impact your chances of actually getting the job. So it's important to have those conversations with young people. And so in this section, we include information about work experience, job interview tips, resume checklists for teens, information about volunteering, and I think something that it's appropriate now is around managing your online presence. Again, their online profile can affect possible job opportunities. So it's also important to talk to students about making sure that any online presence appears professional, especially when they're going on for a job interview. In the next session, we included financial literacy and information about college and career planning activities. And for the financial literacy section, we heard from mentors. When we were putting the toolkit together, we got feedback that they wanted us to include financial literacy tools because they felt that would be valuable for students. And we believe that financial literacy is a vital part of being future ready. Students may go off to college for the first time and will need to understand how to manage their own finances. And early experiences with budgeting will help them thinking about loans and how to pay those back. Some of these conversations need to start early. And so we're excited that we have some great financial literacy tools. The Money As You Grow, you can take a look at that. That starts from the age of 3, talking to students about wants versus needs. The Sample Budgeting for Kids and Teens provides an actual budget that you can go through with students and walk through different scenarios about what kids may want to buy and really go through the budget and think about how much do they actually have to buy that, what might they want to save towards what it is that they want. So those are 2 really great tools. In the Beyond High School section, we talk about exploring Massachusetts state colleges and universities. We have some really great colleges and universities in Massachusetts, community colleges as well. And there's no reason that students can't start that process here. So we provide information on those colleges and universities. And when thinking about what students might be interested in, mentors and other adults can help students schedule a visit to campus. They can just hop on the train and maybe visit a couple of these campuses just so that they can get a sense of what it means to be on a college campus and start to connect those experiences. We also include a college checklist as well as a high school versus college list to talk about the expectations for students. This is a great tool to set up conversation about the different expectations between college and high school. Again, this may be the first time students have had to take responsibility for making sure that they get to class on time and that they stay on top of their coursework, thinking about time management skills. And so this is a great tool, as you'll see here, to talk to young people about the differences they can expect when they get to college. And we also have in this section some college and career planning activities. So how do you integrate the toolkit and the Future Ready messaging into your organization's work? Well, first, use the toolkit to enhance your work with students. Start early in talking to students about their interests. Utilize the additional college and career ready resources, tools, and information that are provided in the toolkit to begin the conversation with students about what it means to be college and career ready and talk about their goals and aspirations. Second way is to integrate it into programming and curriculum. So again, use the Future Ready messaging and the toolkit to align program activities and resources with college and career readiness goals. So are students working as hard as they can? Do students need tutoring? Or conversely, are there students who could use the challenge of an honors or AP course? And are students getting hands-on learning experiences inside and outside of the classroom? And lastly, you can train staff and other influential adults. Staff and mentors who are working with students can be trained regarding the use of the toolkit. And we're happy to do that, but also provide you with information on possible ways to do that. And we'll talk about that a little later in this webinar. And really, I think one of the best things about the toolkit is that it can be used in whole or in part. You can use the toolkit resources to augment or fill a gap in college and career readiness resources that you may have. For example, financial literacy. We heard from mentors that they felt that that was an essential piece to add into the toolkit. And so if that's something that you haven't had the chance to work on yet, we have provided within the toolkit some really great resources to begin those conversations with young people and some fun activities to get them thinking about budgeting and wants versus needs. One of the charges of Future Ready is to get students and families thinking early about creating a plan, developing a plan for successfully completing high school, ready and prepared to pursue college and career opportunities. So one way to do that is just to start to have those early conversations with students, help students map out what they need to do to reach their goals. Use the Your Plan for the Future tool, the mentor and student checklists to help them get started. Most importantly, use anything that can help students keep track of their goals, a vision board, checklist, whatever that might be. Use the activities in the student checklist to help students take initiative and begin to explore their interests and goals and strengths and weaknesses, and help students access resources. Another thing you want to do is just to incorporate college and career readiness into your activities. Are there times when students could utilize study time, advisory time to research colleges or take a self-assessment? Are there opportunities for students to participate in career day activities, job shadow, internships, volunteer opportunities that can help them build those interpersonal skills that can get them career ready? So now let's jump into a few examples of college and career activities that you can do using the Mentor Toolkit. So really the first thing is to use the Mentor Toolkit as a way to engage students. And remember that the toolkit can be used inside or outside of the classroom. The activity examples that we're providing really are about using the toolkit assets to build students' college and career ready skills, such as communication, public speaking, teamwork, collaboration, active listening, critical thinking, all of those applied skills. And really get creative with it. There are many innovative ways to use the resources in the toolkit, and we're just talking about a few today. So here's the first example activity where we're using the Your Plan for the Future self-assessment. So after having students create a Your Plan for the Future profile, have each student start by taking a self-assessment, which will give them information about their strengths and weaknesses. And have students work in groups of 2 and ask them to talk to their partner about their strengths. And then have students present their partner's strengths. I think what's great about this activity is that it helps build skills like active listening, public speaking, and teamwork. And it really engages students in thinking about what are their strengths. That's valuable to know when students begin to apply for college or go into a job interview. That's the kind of question an interviewer might ask. And so it's great to have students begin practicing that before that kind of opportunity arises. In a second example, we talk about exploring careers with the Your Plan for the Future tool. In this activity, students can do this individually or in small groups. And in the career section of the Your Plan for the Future, have students explore their career options and task the groups with picking their top 2 choices to research. And have them respond to questions like, how many years of schooling does this career choice require? What subjects do they need to excel in? And does it seem like a job that they might want? And have them explain why or why not. And if you want to take it a step further, you can ask students to present the career that they chose and present the responses to these questions. And I think what's great about this is you're doing multiple things. You're helping students explore their career options and building skills like communication and critical thinking. Again, useful skills for students to begin to develop as early as middle school. And in this last example activity, we do some career readiness with a practice job interview. So go over the job interview tips for teen sheet with students and ask students to brainstorm the types of questions an interviewer might ask. So students can do this individually, or they can just do a brainstorm style, call out what kinds of questions they think an interviewer might ask, and then have students prepare the types of questions they might ask in an interview. Something that students may not be aware of is that interviewers expect for them to ask a question about the organization or about the kind of work that they'll be doing. So it's great to introduce students to that idea and then have them think about what kinds of questions might an interviewer ask. And then ask students to talk about how best they might present themselves at an interview after looking over the tip sheet. And lastly, conduct mock interviews. Inform students that this is what their ultimate goal is, and have students practice and give each other feedback on their handshakes, on eye contact, and how they're answering questions. And this activity is great, again, because you're helping students explore their options, but also helping them build the kinds of skills that they're going to need in the workplace. We've gone over a few example activities for how to utilize some of the resources in the toolkit, and now we want to go through a few case studies. So just a few things to remember. The toolkit really can be utilized as a guide for students. And for adults working with young people, you really can adapt it to a variety of uses and programs, whether inside or outside of the classroom. One of the best features of the toolkit is that it can be used in whole or in part. And adults that are working with young people can download the entire toolkit from the website or just select resources based on grade level or topic area. And lastly, influential adults can really use the toolkit to start guiding conversations with young people and creating meaningful activities and discussions around college and career readiness. So in our first case study, we have student Lisa. Lisa is in the 10th grade and is a straight A student with interests in mathematics and astronomy. Lisa has not taken any advanced mathematics or science courses, but she participates in an after-school STEM program. She's thought about what she might want to major in college, but she's just not sure about the options that are available in STEM fields. So what kind of resources might we want to suggest for Lisa or for her mentor or other adults who might be working with her? First thing we might start with is a sophomore year mentor checklist. Is Lisa on track to graduating, the 10th grade? Has she completed everything on that checklist? That's a great way to just check in and see if she's on track and doing well in her classes. And next resource would probably be the What's Your Plan for Success student checklist. That would be important. That if Lisa has not created an online profile for herself, it would be great for her to go online and do that. And then proceed to the Your Plan for the Future Explore Career section. Lisa might want to, take the self-assessment, see what her strengths and weaknesses are, and maybe explore career opportunities along those lines. Another resource that would be useful would probably be the career activities sheet. Once Lisa has had a chance to explore careers and look at those options, she might want to write them down and think about which ones are really of interest to her. And then lastly, the adult working with Lisa may also want to just think about the college team activity and help Lisa walk through that and think about, who is her support, whether that's a guidance counselor or parents, to help her as she tries to consider college options post-high school. In our next case study, we have student Alex. Alex is in the 9th grade. He's a C average student, and he's interested in arts and web design, but he doesn't understand how this relates to the courses he's taking currently. He wants to volunteer or pursue an internship with this social media startup, and Alex has an advisory period in the afternoon. What resources might we want to suggest for Alex? First would definitely be the freshman year mentor checklist. That's important to just make sure that he is on track in his freshman year. And also the What's Your Plan for Success student checklist. That would be very helpful for Alex to go online, create a profile, see what his interests are, see what types of jobs are in the fields that he is interested in. Also taking a self-assessment, checking out what his strengths are, and then maybe the why volunteer sheet just to give him some more information about that. It could be an option during his advisory period where he might be able to complete a volunteer opportunity or do an internship that will get him a little bit of experience in what he's doing and maybe help him relate to what he's doing in the classroom as well. And our last case study is student Brian. Brian is in the 12th grade and is a B average student. He's taking some honors courses, he's applying to colleges, and he's a first-generation college student. It seems like Brian is really involved in some school activities. He's completed 2 internships, and he has an idea of what he might want to pursue, but not really sure about what to focus on when he gets to college or what to expect. What resources might we offer Brian from the toolkit? I think definitely the senior year mentor checklist is the first thing. Let's make sure that Brian is on track and ready to graduate. The What's Your Plan for Success student checklist would be helpful for Brian to go on, create a profile, maybe take a self-assessment, see where his strengths and interests lie. The Future Ready resources page would be very helpful. He has interest in attending college. There's information about career interest assessments, college and career plans, jobs and internships, and financial aid information. That would be very helpful to him. And lastly, the high school versus college guide really lays out the differences in expectations between high school and college, and particularly since Brian is a first-generation college student, it would be good information for him to have as he begins to plan, along with a mentor or his school counselor, in getting ready to apply to and pursue a college education post-high school. And we mentioned earlier that you can access the Mentor Toolkit on the Future Ready website by visiting futurereadyma.org/toolkit, and there you can download the entire toolkit. You can also download individual toolkit resources. Once you are at the toolkit page, you can scroll down and you will see a selection from a menu with the different sections of the toolkit: Start Now, Aim High, financial literacy, activities, and resources, as well as information about our toolkit partners. We need influential adults to help us reach as many students as possible with our Future Ready messages: Start Now, Aim High, and Look Beyond. And if you are interested in becoming a toolkit partner, really what you're doing is assisting us in monitoring toolkit distribution and community feedback, in addition to one or more of the partner activities you see at the bottom of the slide here. And really, we just want to connect as many adults as possible with the toolkit so they can use this as a guide to start their conversation and planning with their young person to help them complete high school and pursue college or a career opportunity or training. And lastly, if you want to learn more about the toolkit or receive toolkit updates or become a partner, my name again is Jackney Prioli Joseph, and I'm the director of Future Ready Massachusetts. You can reach me at futureready@mbae.org. Thank you for joining us for this webinar on the Future Ready Mentor Toolkit. We hope it's been informative for you and hope that you will contact us with your feedback and any questions. Thank you again.